Hello and welcome to Conversations That Connect. We are your hosts Suki and Taylor.
Join us as we explore the IT, digital, accounting and finance recruitment industry and dive into the factors shaping our careers and life.
Get ready for engaging discussions that bridge work, life and really everything in between.
Grab your headphones, sit back and let's explore the connections that drive success.
So it's really becoming a business case almost for candidates to have that AI experience. And it's almost the wording is almost like not do you use AI, but what's the experience you, so it's show me what you have done with AI. So it's no longer just okay to say, oh, I've got some experience with AI. It's almost now becoming using, what did they say here in the I like the way that they said, it's like 15 years ago, it's like knowing how to use email.
Yeah.
15 years ago, that was like, okay, can you use email? How do you, that's where AI is now. And it's very, very quickly, it's very quickly being put in front of our faces, like on position descriptions. So we wanted to talk just a little bit about that and how quickly that transition has happened.
Yeah.
And how that's impacting our recruitment and also keeping a little bit of a sensibility around it as well.
I think we've been waiting for this to come forward for quite some time, but as you said, it's coming on position descriptions. There's also qualifications now, specific AI qualifications that people need to have or willing to do if they accept a role. So it is becoming more and more relevant. Like, I mean, you use AI in everything. Like, I see it left, right and center in people's personal lives, but specifically with work now, it's not a nice to have, it's a mandatory in all aspects of roles now. Like, we're working on a few different roles and, you know, testers need qualifications, BAs need AI qualifications, like even project managers, they are now implementing those AI programs.
Tools,
correct. Everything across a business, and they're needing the qualifications. And it's not, I feel like we went through a period where people were transitioning from legacy systems to modern. Now it's transitioning those modern systems to even more modern systems, and they're AI driven.
Yep, absolutely. And I think we're going to have a transition period within that as well, because it's the shiny new thing, where if a business doesn't 100% understand what an organization, when they're recruiting, not 100% understand what the business requirement is, the outcome that they're looking for on AI, that can be very vague because there's so many tools at the moment. And I think just from my conversations with private sector, local government, state government, but also federal government, is really making sure that they understand the business case that they're trying to solve. It's exactly the same as bringing on engineers and going, code something. Like, you can't do that. You have to tell them what it is that you're looking for. It's exactly the same. So yes, it's the word being thrown around, but there has to be substance around it. And we're slowly starting to see the substance coming in, where organizations go, this is the outcome we're looking for, and we want to reach that outcome by AI. Have you got proven experience that you've done this before? Or if we put this learning in place, are you comfortable with doing that? So that's the space that we're in now. I think the biggest question mark around all of this is the governance, how it's implemented. That's still a little bit unsure and will vary in every situation. It's a whole issue, not just this. If you change this, what is the implications? And we're still finding out what that looks like.
And look, things are going to go pear-shaped within that as well, because it is so, like, I wouldn't say it's a new concept or anything like that, but it is at the same time. Like, it's not, but it is. So there is going to be, you know, programs that go ahead that, you know, just don't work, full stop. As you said, like, if the business doesn't know what the business actually needs, then, you know, there's going to be a lot of time and money and everything like that wasted. So I think the success factor will come from getting it right at the very beginning. And that is making sure that you have the right people in place as well, and not just hiring anyone to do that, hiring the right people to understand, people who can talk to the different businesses and, well, the businesses within the business and the different departments, and really understanding. And look, there's probably only a handful of those people that can successfully do that right now. So you may need to invest a little bit more in the beginning, but overall you'll have more success in the long run.
Even in our business, I mean, I've been talking AI with my networks probably for at least 18 months now. And in the beginning, there was a new product on the market that can solve your problem every day. And it became this massive minefield as to which product does what and which variation of that product does that thing. I think it's starting to move into an area where products are being products specific for a specific solution or a specific business problem that they're addressing, where it feels to me like 18 months ago, it was almost like, oh, do AI and it will solve all these things for you. And people got to a point where it was a little bit of information overload, too many options, just like, okay, paralysis. I don't know what I don't know, and I don't know which products will solve my problem. When now it feels like organizations with their AI products are starting to specialize in areas, which is just the normal market way that it's running. So even from our business perspective, we're looking at tools and using tools that addresses a specific business requirement for us. And for now, this product works. There might be a new product on the market that might be better, but it's certainly becoming a little bit more specific. And I think it's, like you mentioned, Taylor, trying different things. I spoke with one of the senior engineers in an international organization, and he said to me they're throwing so much money at AI products just to test through actually what works for them. And yes, it's a money investment, but I think at the end of the day, if they can get the return on investment back, that's probably the way that they're treating it now. Is going, we're investing in trying and see what works and what works best for our organization, and then running with that so that it can add value at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. With that, I do just want to touch on all of the redundancies, because I don't know if it's a theory or just what I'm thinking. And we've also spoken about this as well. There's obviously been a lot of redundancies made from some companies, some large organizations here in Australia, because they are now investing more in AI. So they're using that money to now invest in AI. And there's thoughts, obviously, with everything there, it could work out to be fine and everything would work. But there's also part of me that is like, we have seen this happen before with other things. They make lots of people redundant. They test the product doesn't work. They're not getting the outcomes that they need. So then they're needing to recruit again, because AI can't replace every single human within a business as well. We're obviously seeing that a lot. We haven't seen the other side of that yet because it is so new. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that with everything. There will be a wave of redundancies, but then there possibly could be a wave of recruitment in the next 12, 18, 2 years.
And the recruitment might look a little bit different because the roles will change because of that experiment that they've done. This is very similar to me when outsourcing happened, and outsourcing was going to be the golden bullet that was going to save everything. You outsource everything to the Philippines, to India, to South Africa, to places where you can get labor cheaper. And obviously that has a massive effect on the bottom line. Now we're looking at a hybrid because you can't outsource everything. So it did settle somewhere in the middle. With some organizations, it works beautifully. And it definitely addresses a need. And in some organizations, it just didn't work. So we're in that period of testing, trying, the storming period from we're storming through everything, trying, and then we'll get to a sort of a norm of, okay, this is what the reality looks like. And then the recruitment will definitely be a from what I can see, a combination of the
I was
role
just about
you
to
have,
say
but AI will be involved with that.
it will
You
be
need to
hybrid.
understand how AI integrates into the business. And I had a conversation yesterday with a candidate that was looking at this testing role with the AI's experience required. And like, I don't have the experience. Where do I get the experience? And like, that's the chicken and egg. But if you've done a course, and if you can demonstrate that you're furthering your studies, you're furthering your skills, although it might not be
Hands-on.
relevant experience on the ground, we're still in that phase where I think that is acceptable. That will still get you across the line. Will that be the case in 6 months' time? Probably not.
Probably
You will
not.
need the
Yeah.
experience. So,
And it's the same with that BA role too. Like these BAs need to be able to, help determine what
tools.
system or tool is going to work. So I think having an array of experience within that, but again, yeah, it's hard to get the experience if you can't get the experience. So maybe it's just personal learning, doing things yourself,
Getting the
making case
qualification.
studies yourself. Yeah.
Getting the qualification. So upskilling, definitely.
Yeah.
There's, like we said, there's a specific AI within the skill set that you have, finding out what those are and you don't have to do all of them, maybe do
Yeah.
one or two. That'll
Find
also
what
give
you're
you
passionate about.
yeah.
Because I think if you're passionate about it, you'll want to learn more. You'll be the expert in that instead of being an expert in everything. You'll be an expert in maybe 2 or 3 things that will really help you later on down the track. And if you're passionate about it, you'll want to learn more. You'll want to do it. And I think being passionate will also come across when you're interviewing for roles too. So,
And that's with anything, isn't it?
yeah.
Being passionate about what you do. So for us, we're watching and just standing back a little bit and seeing how this is working out. It's not a question of if it's here. Federal government has communicated that this is what they will be implementing. They're taking a cautious approach to make sure that they check all the boxes, that governance side, what's the implications. But it's here. It's not a case of can wait another 18 months. No,
And
you're going to be left behind.
I was just about to say, if you're not already looking at qualifications, looking at upskilling now, you've missed the mark. There's still a little bit of time, but you're going to be left behind if you don't start looking at it right now.
Correct. Yeah, correct. That's it. We just wanted to really, because it's literally in the last 4 weeks that the conversation has really taken a direction where we've seen okay, now it's on position descriptions. Now there's papers being released from government saying this is what we're doing, this is what we will be doing. In fact, in Queensland, the state government has actually added a category, or they're looking at adding a category to the ICT recruitment side on the GGS panel that specifically mentions AI. So
and machine learning.
To that space and machine learning, to get to that space, that's government going, we have to have it. We have to be able to recruit in this space with candidates that have this experience. So yes, we're there. It's already there. So we're learning as you're learning to understand exactly what products there are in those specific areas, the testing, the BA, the project management. But you've got products like Copilot, Claude, ChatGPT, Grok. I mean, the ones that have been around the market for a little bit. That's one portion of it, and they can address certain areas, and then it becomes quite specific in your specific skill set as well.
There's so much. It's overwhelming the amount of tools and software and everything like that there is.
Yes.
But yeah.
So from a client perspective, I think that's also it's happening, and we will be needing people that have those skill set. Make sure you understand exactly what the business need is that you want to address. What is the return on investment that you're looking for? And specifically what kind of AI tools you need candidates to be able to bring to the table. Do they need to be able to code? Do they need to be able to just write really good queries? Like, what is the requirement that you need for the outcome that you're looking for? That's really important, because otherwise you won't get the return on investment you're looking for, because you actually don't know what it is end result should look like.
If you don't know, maybe look at getting a consultant
Yes.
to come in. Like it may cost you a little bit more, but in the long run, I think it will be worth it because you won't be wasting time with what you want and trial and error. Yeah, doing it right the first time is going to be the key here. But obviously there will be a trial and error period with software and tools. But yeah, I think if you put the right people in place to begin with, the transition is going to be so much more successful than if you're just, throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah, correct. Just interestingly, I ChatGPT'd this conversation so that I can get my head around exactly where the market is. So this is an AI-driven podcast with the information that we're using. And just interestingly, it says here, we've moved past the AI hype cycle. Now it's about execution, and that's where the real talent gap is, which is so true. It's that gap in terms of this is what the business is looking for. These are the tools that are available, and it's that talent gap that can fill that. I think that's where the gold will be in the market. But we're here. We're excited about this new phase. It's almost for me like when I started my recruiting career many, many years ago, and it didn't exist. And then all of a sudden this Microsoft.net came onto the market and everybody was very excited about that. Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see where this takes us and what the recruitment world looks like going forward, not just the process for us as recruiting, but how we fill the gap for our candidates and our clients.
Yeah, 100%. It's very exciting. And every person that we speak to, we're learning different things as well.
Correct. I didn't know that. Yes, it's a learning curve for us as well. So we're learning together, but it's here.
There's no way around it now.
Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Conversations That Connect.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends.
Connect with us on social media at Montague Group on LinkedIn and Facebook. And please feel free to drop us a line with any topics you would like us to discuss and, of course, any questions that you do have.
Until next time, guys, stay curious and stay connected.